Hello, everyone. Welcome to We'd Rather Be Reading. My name's Jerica.
And I'm Leah.
It's the summertime.
It is the summer special, summer special. We're out on the beach and don't have time to talk to you, so we are reading books and watching movies. That's it. We're not changing our theme song.
No, that's it.
This was not good. We will not try that again. I apologize.
We're amazing singers. What are you talking about?
I am an amazing singer. You don't even know. I went to music class. I'm
You
like
did?
choir singer. Like yes,
No.
yes, I am.
Wow,
an amazing
shock and
singer.
odd.
Yes,
Love it.
so don't bring me down here.
Okay, I am not a good singer. I'm one of those like spirited singers.
Oh, you're
I
spirited.
really
Okay.
like to sing very much so. And if I have like a tiny bit of a cold, the rasp goes really well with some of the songs I like to sing.
Nice.
So, I mean, and you know my name, I'm named after a character who was a pop star or a rock star in a TV show
All right.
called Gem and the Holograms.
Oh, Gem and the
And during the daytime, she was a secretary named Jerica, and my older sister watched it while I was being baked.
She was like, that's Jerica in there. I can tell.
She's not Gem. She's not the cool rock star version of herself.
Just the
She's like
secretary.
the secretary.
She's the secretary.
She's a boring
There's nothing wrong with being a
secretary.
secretary. Just want to put that out there.
No.
Anyways, so this week we have decided to do plenty of research.
So much
research. And compare some books that have been made into movies or TV shows to determine simply here.
Helt enkelt.
Helt
What's
enkelt.
that?
I'm turned Swedish.
Swinglish.
To determine which is better. Is it the book, or is it the movie, or is it the book, or is it the TV show? Which is better?
For
Would
you,
we rather?
it's gonna go
It's gonna
all
be the
book.
It's gonna be the book. Spoiler alert! It's the book. I would say in 9.5 out of 10 cases,
Whoa.
it's the book is better.
And I have to say, I'm a really poor movie watcher. I don't know why, but I watch and prefer TV always. Like since I was a young kid, than over movies. So I don't have too many that I can say that I prefer the movie over the book, but I have some TV shows that I prefer over the book.
I think it's easier in a way with TV shows, and I would agree that my the ones where I would say the TV show is better than the book is also when it is a TV show and not a movie, because books usually tell a fairly long story, and it's hard to squeeze that into like 2 hours or around there of movie.
Yeah.
Without losing too much of the plot. And then we also come into, because you guys know my continuity things, and I'm a purist at heart here, I get very angry when they change stuff.
Okay.
And not necessarily when they take stuff away, because I understand the need to take things away to fit the whole story of a book into a 2-hour movie. But when they add things, this is where I'm like, you took 80% of this book out, and then you added stuff that wasn't even in the book. Hate that. Pisses me off so much.
So it's almost as if, why did you not just write another story
you
that
can
was
write your own
similar
story.
to the book? Yeah.
But we're going to start off with... last week we talked about our favorite books, and one of my absolute favorite book series is Chaos Walking, which is comprised of 3 books. It's The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and then there's the third one that I forget the name of right now. But they're by Patrick Ness, and the whole series is called Chaos Walking. And this, I was very, very excited to find out that these were going to be made into a movie.
Yeah. And I was even more excited to find out that.
Yeah, and it was even well cast.
Ooh.
Yeah, because the last one is Monsters of Men. Sorry,
Oh,
so
yes.
it's The Knife of Never Letting Go, The Ask and the Answer, and The Monsters of Men. And it was even well cast. We had Tom Holland playing the main guy, Todd, and we had Viola was played by Daisy Ridley. So, like, good casting. There's even some Swedish actor in there.
Cool.
Maybe? Or maybe it's Danish. Unsure now. Disregard anything I said about casting, apart from Tom Holland and Daisy Ridley, because I do know those two. Anyways, good cast, and I was like, this is going to be awesome, because I love these books. And then the movie got delayed by a couple of years. And it got
Not a great
reshot.
sign.
And
Reshot. Oh,
and
no.
then I watched it, and I was like, what the fuck was this? And what have they done to my favorite book?
Okay.
Because basically, they took away some of the best element, like the fact that the dog freaking talks, or you can hear his talk. Like, he doesn't do that in the movie.
What?
Yeah. They took away pretty much everything that made the movie great, and they cut out book 2 and 3 and decided to end after book 1, which makes no sense because the story really needs to go all the way through to book 3, otherwise it's completely freaking pointless. So, terrible, terrible, terrible movie made out of excellent books. So if you saw the posters for Chaos Walking and you were like, whoa, I think I'm gonna go check this out, don't. Go to your closest bookstore and buy those books instead, because they are so much better.
You know, whenever I read books and then see it as a movie, my biggest pet peeve is when I can tell which scenes they cut.
Yeah.
And that it goes from scene, cut scene, new scene, cut scene, new scene, cut scene. Like, as if they know that they can't take everything from the book into the movie. And it doesn't flow so well because now they need to go, for example, to Japan, or now they need to be in the Caribbean, and now they need to be in Paris. And so the movie sort of looks like all of these blocks that have been pieced together.
Which I find very much with like the Harry Potter movies. Because those books are so long. Like, in the beginning it works, but like you come up to book 5 or 4 and 5 and they start to get thick, those books. And there's so much stuff happening in them, and you need to, it's hard to cut these things out because it's kind of a chain effect, like a chain event of things. So if you cut something out, then it becomes illogical, and then they get very choppy in a way.
Yeah.
But I still think they did a good job with most of the Harry Potter movies.
I really liked them. I was also quite young when they started to come out, and so I was reading the books at the same time as then watching the movies after. And I think the kids that watched the movies first, it doesn't even deter them from then reading the books.
Because
and
you get more backstory in the books, you get like fleshed
I like
out
that a
story.
lot.
Like,
I like that
nice.
they like both of them and not just one and then skip the books kind of thing. So that was actually really well done.
I mean, I do think the Harry Potter movies are really well done, but they are a bit choppy, some of them.
Yeah.
Mostly because they are very thick books and it has to happen. And another where I actually kind of like the movie better than the book, this is rare, but it's The Lord of the Rings.
Ooh.
And mostly the second book, because we talked about the second book of The Lord of the Rings before. It's 1,000 pages of walking.
Yeah.
Which is much more fun to watch than to read about.
Okay.
And just the world building, the way they did it in New Zealand with all of those locations, it's just gorgeous. Like,
So beautiful.
Gorgeous.
No,
those
you're right.
movies.
That was really beautiful.
So for that, I would say movie over book, and also actually for The Princess Bride. I feel like I'm losing I just stood
I
here
know.
before
You
and
were
said,
like 95%.
and now I'm like,
Okay,
actually,
Princess Bride movie, classic, hilarious. The book, not hilarious.
No.
So
so weird, that book.
I know.
It's all about a man trying to find the book, The Princess Bride, for his kid and going to books. It's weird.
So the movie's
Yeah.
so much better. So funny. Will
Yes.
never stop being funny. It's not one of those things where you look back and
No.
you're like, oh, that was funny before.
My kids
but it's not
love
funny
The
now.
Princess Bride.
I know.
Like,
it's
they watch
hilarious.
it. It's hilarious.
I
So
think I
good.
made my kids watch it also when
should.
it was on
You
TV
should.
one time. It's inappropriate for a 4-year-old, but whatever.
It'll be fine. They'll be fine. Another one that I had on my list was botched movie attempt, I think, is The Golden Compass, because I really like The Golden Compass books.
Okay. Is
And
this
then
the one with
movie-
Lyra?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I mean, I would have put The Golden Compass on one of my absolute top lists of books as well, because I really like The Golden Compass.
I
read
like
it
it
a
too.
couple of times. And the new series that are coming out that are attached to it, there's 2 out of the 3 books that are out so far, which are really good as well. And they're really
Actually, I
long.
like that. I wanted to name my first daughter Lyra because of the character in the Golden Compass book.
But I think the movie was okay, but they never did the sequel, so again they dropped the story.
Yeah.
And now I know there's a TV show, and I started watching it. It's on HBO.
What's
The
it
Golden
called?
Compass.
It's called Golden Compass?
There's like a couple of seasons out now.
Oh, shit.
It's I started watching it, and it was okay. I just did not really get sucked into it, so I gave up. I might have to pick it up again, but I would say still book better. Book better than book. The Hunger Games, the books are better.
Yeah.
And why? Because of the miscasting.
Miscasting.
Oh my god, yes. And this is usually like, I read the Divergent books, and when they did those into movies, I couldn't even watch them because I was pissed off with the casting. And I don't usually mind, I mean, I can usually get around with the casting, but I think for something called The Hunger Games, where everyone is starving, everyone looked fairly well fed.
That's true.
And if you look at Divergent, where Beatrice or Triss is actually described as being super teeny tiny and blonde, and then they cast Shailene Woodley, who is super, super tall.
Yeah.
It made no sense, because a lot of the situation she got
had
into
to be
was because she was so small, and the way she had to get out of the situation was she was made fun of because she was so little, and like all of this would have just gone away from the movie. Then those movies might have been good. I don't know. I didn't watch them. I too pissed off. Couldn't even get there.
I watched all of those movies, but I would agree with you that the casting was a little missed there.
Yeah.
But then I have TV shows, or do you have some
one more
movies?
movie?
Okay.
And this, I'd say, book and movie are equally good.
Equal.
And it's the Emma Donoghue Room.
Oh yes. I haven't read the book though.
It's really hard to read because it's all from the point of view of the kid.
Tough.
Which is hard. But it was so good. Both the movie and the book, so good. And now we have TV series. You had TV series.
I have TV series because
TV
I'm more TV watcher than not. And first on the list is True Blood. I love True Blood series so much. It got me in so much trouble by loving it because my ex-boyfriend was jealous when I would talk to his friends or siblings or whatever it was for like hours about the TV show True Blood, and then, you know, ignore him a little bit because I was so into the TV show. But you read the books, and
I read the books.
You love the books.
No, that's.
Oh, you don't love the books.
No,
oh,
I do not love those books. I read them.
Okay.
I was very annoyed with Suki most of the time.
Yeah.
But I read them. I read through pretty much all of them. I think I gave up somewhere towards the end because she kept releasing books there when I was reading the series, and it would never end. And
God, I love
it. Was so long. And then I was like, oh, there's a TV show, and I started watching it, and I think it's half of the first season, and then it diverges from the books.
Yeah.
And I was like, why? This makes no sense. I don't like it.
Because it needed to continue because Alexander Skarsgård is the hottest man on the planet Earth.
But he's in the books, like way long into the books.
Is he?
Yeah. It's the other guy who disappears.
Yeah, but he also disappears in the TV show and then comes back.
Yeah, but he's gone. I can't remember. It's too long. But I think he's gone. Anyways, didn't like them. Didn't watch it. Didn't like the books. Didn't like the TV series.
I love the TV series.
Did not like it.
Tried to read the books. Couldn't get into them because it was nothing like the people in the TV series. So I didn't watch the books. So I like the TV show more than the books for True Blood, the Sookie Stackhouse novels.
Yes.
And then I think we can both agree on this. Brave New World was a phenomenal TV show. And the book was made, or written, I should say, so long ago in the 30s, 1930s. So, and this story is so wildly futuristic that it is amazing to think that somebody could have thought about this back in the 30s of how we would be living in today's day and age, or in the future of even from now. And the TV show just did wonders with the concept.
Great TV show. My goodness,
and yeah, I loved all of the actors in it. Everything was really well done. And even my husband loved to watch it. And we recommend it to a lot of other people who are looking for new series to watch together as a couple. It's an awesome story, futuristic and creative, and really well made and well acted.
So speaking of other shows to watch with your partners, A Song of Ice and Fire or Game of Thrones.
Game of Thrones.
I did read the books. I actually started watching the TV show, and then after a couple of seasons, I decided to read the books, and I read my way through, and then I actually managed to spoil it for my husband when we were watching it, because we're sitting there and I'm watching, I go, oh, Jamie still has his hand. And James like, what do you mean he still has his hand? And I'm like, oh, nothing.
But maybe they weren't going to do that in the series, but they did do it.
Yeah. Anyways, they did that. Regardless, the thing there's lots of violence in these books and in the TV show, and there's lots of sexual violence in both. But I have to say there's more sexual violence in the TV show than it is in the books, which I think is unnecessary.
Okay.
Because I don't think we ever need to add rape to things.
No.
It's unnecessary and it's gratuitous in a way. And that's why I like the books better. But I mean, Game of Thrones visually in the first few seasons is just gorgeous. I mean, it is well worth watching, I'd say.
And Jon Snow.
And Jon Snow. God, Jon Snow.
Handsome is that guy.
I love Jon Snow.
He's all your type too, with the dark and brooding.
Mine.
Yours. He's yours. Yeah, no problem. I will go all the way for Alexander Skarsgård.
Are you more of a Jamie in Game of Thrones?
No, yeah, he's a little sister.
We've already talked about Shadow and Bone. There's a whole episode about that, so we're gonna leave this off this episode here.
Too much ranting.
Listen to the side story of we'd rather be reading than watching Shadow and Bones. Then I have You. Have you read the books, You, and watched a TV show?
And I haven't watched a TV show because I don't like the concept of it. And when people were telling me about it, and I was like, stalker, like Stockholm syndrome, like abuse, like
you should watch it. You should watch the first season. The second season sucks.
Okay.
And it's mostly because the book is better. Because in the
then
second
I'll read it.
season,
I'm not going to watch it.
The second season, they diverge completely from the story. Very, very much. And it's unnecessary because it was better done in the book.
Okay.
First season, they're pretty true to the story, actually. So that one was either way. It's creepier to read it in a way because you're in his head and you get all of his thoughts, which don't always want all of his thoughts. Another TV show that we both loved, actually.
Tell me about it.
Normal People.
Love it. Love, so much love. Like, in love.
Yeah.
Love.
This is yours. He's yours.
He's mine.
He's
all mine. Actually, he reminds me too much of my best friend's husband, so I shouldn't say that. Because he's Scottish and he has that jaw and everything. She's gonna murder me if she hears this. Anyways. No, that is all hers. Yeah.
To Normal People, I did read the book, and I would say the TV series is phenomenal. So good. You should watch it. But you should also read the book, more like a companion to the TV series than anything else, because the story is identical. It very much follows the exact same story. But Paul, the main guy in Normal People, all of his everything is inside of his head. So if you don't read the books where you can hear his thoughts, sometimes a little bit gets lost. I mean, he's really good at acting without words. The actor was so phenomenal
that you can tell sort of about how he was feeling. Yeah, well, I mean, you can definitely tell how he was feeling.
For sure. But if you read it, you get so much more out of his work. Mm-hmm. Out of his acting, for sure. So it's so good.
Both read and watch the series.
Read and watch.
The series is only one season, and it won't ever be another, that we know of. And both writer and director, producer have said that they're leaving it at that. And when it's good, it's good. Yeah, and when it's excellent,
we don't need
you mic drop it at that. And that is Normal People, and it is phenomenal.
Another one where I would say that the TV series was actually better than the book is Looking for Alaska.
Oh, I haven't read this or watched it, so tell me all about it. I can't wait.
It's so good. Looking for Alaska is so good. It's about this boy he goes to a boarding school in Georgia, I think it is, and he meets this girl, Alaska, there.
Oh, cool.
And it's about making friends. It's about being an awkward teenager. It's about falling in love. It's about so much, and it's all of the feels, and it's so good. It's a John Green, I believe, book to begin with. I'm gonna just double check so I'm not sending someone in the wrong direction here, but it's so good. Let's see, Looking for Alaska.
Why the title Looking for Alaska?
It's John Green. It's his first novel because it's her name, and it makes sense when you read it.
Okay.
It's Looking for Alaska follows the novel's main character and narrator Miles Halter, or Pudge, to boarding school where he goes to seek a great perhaps, the famous last words of Francois Rabelais. And he's like, he memorizes famous last words. So he knows all of people's famous last words. It's just one of those like quirky. It's so good. You should watch it. I mean, reading it was okay. But watch it for sure. Oh. So with that said, looking for Alaska, watch. Could read if you want to, but not necessary. Just watch it. And I have one last TV series. Do you have any more?
No.
A series of unfortunate events.
Oh, okay.
I read these books with my son because they're more of a kids' books in a way.
Yeah.
It's Lemony Snicket. He's I don't even think he's a real person. I don't know. Like he's he does these books about the Baudelaire orphans that had a vast fortune, and then it's like this evil Count Olaf that tries to take them and take their fortune by doing all of these really outlandish plots to try to. He tries to marry the oldest daughter. He tries to do all of these things like to get their money is basically it. And it's outlandish, and it's like they join a circus at one point. They go to a town where there's birds that rule the town. It's all over the place, and they're continuously being hunted by this Count Olaf and his crew of like theater troupe of crazy theater people. And the books are funny. The TV show is hilarious and excellent. And it's with...
Does Jim Carrey play? No, he's in the movie.
He's in the movie.
Yeah.
In the TV show, it's the guy from How I Met Your Mother, the Barney.
Oh, cool.
What's his name?
3 names.
Yes. Dead air. La la la. Keep talking. We are talking. Neil Patrick Harris.
Yeah. Neil Patrick Harris.
Neil Patrick Harris. And it's really good, the TV series. I'd say almost better than the books. I mean, the books are good, but they get a little bit boring after a while. There's like 11 of them or something like that. And after a little bit, it's a bit much.
Okay.
But it's all about like, if you want a happy story, then put down this book and go do something else. I guess all of these things. Like, I don't want to tell you this, but I'm going to have to. So you should probably close the book now if you don't want to know. All the way through. It's just telling you not to read it, basically, this book. Which is kind of funny. Awesome. So I hope with this that you guys have some new TV shows to watch for those rainy summer days.
Or books.
Or books to read. Or movies to watch. Or you probably watched most of these. I mean, we didn't go too out there. But if you haven't watched Normal People and Looking for Alaska, you should go and do that now.
Right now.
Go on. And next week, we will be talking about...
all of our gifted books. All of them. Just 3 of our gifted books.
That have been given to us by some lovely authors that we are about to read.
Yes.
And discuss. So until then.
We'll see you later. Bye.
We'd Rather Be Reading is an original podcast by Jerika Seron and Leah Sanfö. The music for The Penguins, written and performed by David Allred from the album The Transition, courtesy of Erased Tapes. Please check him out on Spotify and check us out on social media. We're on Facebook and Instagram at We'd Rather Be Reading and on Twitter at We'd Rather Read. You can also email us at we'dratherbereadingthepod@gmail.com. Thanks for listening.